Hello, my wonderful people. I'm still under house arrest in Britain, and the weather is fantastic as we speak. I went for a walk, and while I was having a walk and I was going, we'll call it through the forest, like something happened to me. I thought of, uh, I have noticed over the last year or so that there are micronations all over the world, people who want to connect with Laughter Republic. But they are micronations, and Laughter Republic is a fictional imaginary nation like Wakanda, like Zamunda. So I thought while I was walking back from the forest that it would be good for me to start interviewing. Let's have like almost like a state visit of all these micronations. And it gives me great pleasure, an honor, and a privilege to introduce you to His Majesty King Ramy of the great kingdom of Sexistan. I am so pleased. He's the first micronation leader that I am making connections with. Today is also a very great day because I also signed a treaty with the Empire of Veritas to establish diplomatic relations. So I'm sure we will be doing the same with the kingdom of Sexistan. So, Your Majesty, how are you?
Thank you very, very much. I'm doing quite well, Your Excellency. I love your welcome. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be here today to speak with you. Everything is good here in Sexistan City. I'm currently in the Royal Palace. We have a lovely view behind me. I have our Charter of Rights and Freedoms that was signed this Sexistan Day on February 12th. It's been a great year so far and lots of progress ahead of us. How are you?
I am great. I am under house arrest by the British civilian prime minister. It is really strange how the tables have turned. A civilian prime minister puts an African president under house arrest. But, it is what it is. But because of social media, I am still able to run my country all over the world. So
That is
I am very interested to find out about your country, Sexistan. When was it established? Why was it established?
the Great Kingdom of Sexistan was a kind of culmination of a childhood dream of being a king, of having, a group of people that you choose, that you can choose to surround yourself with and to create an idealized way of living life. And so one day I was like, well, screw it. I'm gonna create my own land. And so I created the Kingdom of Sexistan, and I had a few friends with me at the start. And it was February 12th, 2015. And back then we were a few people. Then I decided to move on and to have a queen. And our system works is that in an interesting way. So we have a queen and a king. They're not necessarily in a romantic relationship. However, it's a male and a female ruling a country together. And when I created the Great Kingdom of Sexistan, we were quite younger. And so when the elders of the community found out that we were running this nation called Sexistan, they started to ask questions like, why is it sex? What is a Sexistan? Is this a sex cult? And I was like, no, Sexistan, if you take the etymology of it, means land of the sexes, which where we promote gender equality, where we do not see any differences between the genders when it comes to rights and who gets to rule and governance. So we've had a long history. We've had two wars, which was quite interesting, I must say, and it's been ever growing since. And it's kind of like a treasure chest of not only memories but desires and hopes for this world.
This is really a fascinating story. Because when my ambassador, my micronation ambassador, said we should make contact with your country, I was a bit reluctant because I just thought Sexistan, sexist. That is what I thought. So for you to explain that you actually have a king and a queen, but you have no personal relationship going on, that is really fantastic to hear. What is the population of Sexistan?
So the Sexistanese population is at 69. We're currently at 69 citizens. I think around 70 actually. I need to double check the registry, but between 69 and 70 citizens.
I would actually say that I am laughing so hard when you say it's 69, because as you know, 69 is a figure that we all know. So I'm hoping for your sake that it's actually 70 and not 69.
It is
And
quite.
tell me about your queen. Is she with you today? Is she going to appear with this state visit interview?
Unfortunately, she will not be appearing today. However, she is currently in our capital, Rabaton.
Okay.
Uh, that's where she lives. Because so I used to live in. It started. This micronation started in Kuwait,
Okay.
right? And so in Kuwait, I created the city of Rabaton, the capital, or Rabaton, depends who you ask. Two
Mm,
pronunciations, I guess. And then I moved to Dubai, and this is Sexistan city here. So she's back there, and she's ruling from there, I guess. Um, you know, I need, for example, although I do quite a lot of the moving, the legislation aspect of it, I need her approval to move on with anything. So she's kind of like taking the advisory position right now. So yeah.
wow. You are located in Dubai. So you are running Sexistan in Dubai. Do
Indeed.
you think that the government, the micronation government in Dubai, are worried about your creation of Sexistan?
No, I mean the government here is not worried. I mean we don't pose any threats. We're not terrorists. We're not trying to change anything. We're not insulting nobody. So we're just living, doing our little thing. I don't think they're. I hope that they don't have an issue. They
You,
might, and they probably are not telling me, but I hope they don't. Yeah,
okay,
we're
yeah,
we're fine.
okay. And what have you been able to achieve as a king?
So as a king, wow, that's a difficult question to answer because there's so many things that I've done and we've done, not just me. I mean, none of this would exist without all my constituents and my subjects. I mean, right here, I pose my proudest achievement, which is the creation of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms of the Great Kingdom of Sexistan, that lays out the basic rights, at least the most important basic rights that I believe a human being in the Great Kingdom of Sexistan, united under the crown, should have. So that's one. Another one is that this year we celebrated our sixth National Day, February 12th, yes, 2021. This is the year. Yeah, and it was great. We've had celebrations, drinking, fun, partying. It was great. We're working on passing legislation because I have the summer months off from education, so I have a lot of time to focus on my great kingdom. We're planning on having a Royal Titles Act to define who really is the royal family, creating a central bank, creating a charity, because I want Sexistan to help. I don't want us to be some idle micronation with a king with a crazy costume, just doing nothing. I want us to help in some way. So this year I presented to my government the Sexistan 2021-2025 directives. So hopefully within the next 5 years, we'll be able to, you know, achieve some of those directives and make the world around us a better place.
Thank you for that. So I have lots of questions for you, Your Majesty. So is the monarchy? Do you have a prime minister? Do you have a president? How is the link between the monarchy? Are you just a figurehead, just like we have in England?
So I'd say I'm a bit more powerful. I mean, absolute power almost. However, within reason, because we just started off, right? Any country that just starts off generally starts with a figure with a head of state and a head of government that has a lot of the power to make things move quicker, right? So right now it's me and the queen, and then we have, of course, our parliament. So it's similar, it kind of modeled after the UK. So we do have a prime minister. Our prime minister, the Right Honourable Prime Minister Sir Omar Baron Izzat of Rabatin. Um, he's a great guy. I mean, he's the head of the government. Well, not the head of the government, head of the parliament, where we have it's made up of ministers and parliament members. And then we have the Crown Court, where we have His Honor Supreme Justice Ryan of the Supreme Crown Court, member of the Royal Advisory Council. And so we kind of have this three-way power structure between the monarch, the monarchy, actually, because we're two, that serves as kind of the figurehead and the driving force of the nation. And then we have the parliament, and then we have the crown court, the Supreme Crown Court, and the high crown courts. And with the upcoming couple of months, I want to define this in more detail and more depth, because then again, we're only 6 years old, right? So there's a lot of intricacies that need to be worked out.
So where's the checks and balances? So if you say you've got absolute power, so is it that your prime minister is the figurehead? Is that what it is?
No, it's more that, so the monarchy is the figurehead, right? So in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, if I may read, all citizens of the Great Kingdom of Sexistan are born free and equal in rights and dignity, united as subjects under the crown, acting in the spirit of respect and fraternity. So we wanted because right now I consider myself to be reasonable, right? Future kings, maybe not. So that's why I want to spend the next couple of months working on a way to create those checks and balances. Like some examples that we already have is that the Supreme Justice can refuse a law passed by refuse a decision made by the king or queen if he deems it as unconstitutional. And so we want to define a full constitution, because right now we just have a charter, and we want to define full checks and balances for not only the king but also the government, the parliament, sorry, and the crown courts, because I think it's a good balance. If you have a little bit of balance, it's good.
Wow. So we, as you know, my host nation where we are, we lost, Britain lost Prince Philip. May his soul rest in peace. And there's been a lot of talk about the monarchy and the future of the monarchy. In Sexistan, do you think that there will be a time where people will question what is the role of the monarchy and whether the monarchy should really die?
Probably in a couple 100 years. I mean, because look at the United Kingdom. If you think of the United Kingdom is how many 100 years old? It's like 1,000 years old of like monarchy. Just now, people are really starting to think about it. And even now, it's just chatter, right? There are no protests in the street. There are no people, trying to off with their heads of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip and the princes and princesses. I mean, no, it's still there, right? So my worry is this is non-existent that's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah. So
if I'm a good king.
Yeah.
And if my queen is a good queen as well.
Yeah. So if you are not having a relationship with your queen, what is your succession rights? I mean, you have children. Do you hand over power? If anything happens to you, do you hand over power to your first son?
So that's a really interesting thing that I've been trying to find out recently, because we're trying to figure out kind of the succession of where does the throne go. I mean, right now we're young and hopefully we live long, but we do need to figure that out. But I have outlined the position of the crown prince royal and the crown princess royal. So the succession of the throne won't go through, like, if let's say I have in the future, let's say I don't have children. Let's say if I have a son and a daughter, right? The daughter will not become queen. My son will become king. However, if the queen has a daughter, her daughter will become kind of queen, right? It's not how it is. That's not how it really is right now, because we're still trying to outline it. But the lines of succession are separate between the king and the queen. And that's kind of to create another check and the balance of the monarchy. It's a duarchy, actually, because there's two separate monarchs ruling the Great Kingdom of Sexistan, hopefully in agreement. If disagreements arise, that's when democracy comes in for voting and the polling and whatever.
Okay, so I pray nothing happens to you, but if something happens to you today, does the queen then automatically become the only ruler in Sexistan? Do you then automatically get another person to be king?
See, again, this isn't outlined in law, but what I would predict, if something happened to me today, then the queen would be the sole ruler. And she'd have to figure it out because it hasn't been figured out. It hasn't been figured out yet, right? So,
It
you
looks
know,
like your country is trying to figure out quite a number of things, and
of
there
course,
is a big risk. There is a big risk because certainly in my country, if anything happens to me, my son is getting ready to take
Mhm.
over from me. It is, it is a smooth transition of power in Laughter Republic. Our
Yeah.
constitution says that if anything happens to President Bonjo, he hands over power is handed over
I
to my
completely
son.
agree. But you see, the thing is that we do have a royal family, right? But it's not the royal family is not just blood related relatives, right? It's extremely close friends that started the kingdom with us, right? We've created princes and princesses, dukes and duchesses,
Yeah.
right? So that exists, the base exists. However, choosing who is in line to the throne, that's something that we have to decide within the next couple of months, as soon as possible, actually. And I'm working with the Princess of Rabiton, the Queen, the Prime Minister to figure things out.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hope I hope you find you figure things out. Let me ask you a question about because I would like to think that you have a Sexistan army, unless you don't have an army and you're still trying to figure it out. Because my view is that you have to have the army on your side because they could get really restless after a few years of your nation.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we do have a head of the. We don't have a physical army yet. Again, there is a macro nation that we have to be considerate of, right? So we can't really like right now we're not in a place to assemble an army because if we do, then that could be seen as a threat to the nation that we're seated in, and but we do have a leader of the royal guard, and during times of war we've quickly assembled armies. For example, we had the One Day War where I was actually kidnapped from the royal palace during a parliamentary meeting, and then my subjects and constituents, members of government, formed an army and came and saved me, I guess, right? So then again, another thing we need to figure out, but it's something dangerous, especially because assembling an actual army, that's especially because we have such an international diaspora, right? That it's difficult to do, and it can be seen as a threat by our greater nation, like Dubai here, for example, the United Arab Emirates. It's not something we can. I am moving to Canada, however, so it's an idea.
Okay, okay, okay. The other thing I wanted to say to you is this is my own way of trying to establish diplomatic relations with your country. And one of the things I am thinking of is a trade agreement with your country, because you said you have 69 citizens. I don't know whether your country is a country where people perform comedy, because I would like to bring our brand of comedy to your country, and we do it through a virtual, you know, maybe Zoom or something with your 69
Yes.
citizens, and we entertain you online. Do you think that is something? Because I see you are laughing already. I see you like the idea. Do you think that is something that we could arrange as a trade agreement between both countries?
Definitely, after we establish diplomatic relations, we can definitely work on something like this. I totally agree. I mean, even if it's just videos, right? If it's just
Yeah,
shorts, short videos that we can, promote on our social media, send to our subjects. That's a great idea.
yeah, yeah. So,
Really quite.
I would like to say that we would like to establish diplomatic relations with Sexistan. So maybe my people and your people can work together to draft a treaty, which is a cooperation of understanding between both countries and committing to certain values. Even though I have to say to you, when I heard Sexistan, I thought, wow, this may be aligning to our values in terms of. But you see, the world has changed, and so what is your pronouns, by the way?
My pronouns is His Majesty and Your Majesty.
Oh, mine is His Excellency.
Yes, yes. I've
This.
watched that video and found it quite hilarious.
Oh, which video you've been? So your people have been checking me out.
I have definitely done a little bit of research, I must say. I mean, I saw your photos and I was like, man, this guy looks pretty cool. I have to look
Thank you so much. But look, this has been fantastic. I know I have bombarded you with lots of questions. Do you have any questions for me at all about my country, about me, anything at all that you would like to ask me?
Why did you become a president? Why did you make
Yes.
it a president? I think I saw a little bit. Heard a little bit from your BBC thing, but I'd like to hear it from you personally.
Okay. So, wow, you certainly have done your research. This is really great. Um, why did I become president? Well, 11 years ago, before I created my nation, I remember sitting down in the living room and he wasn't president then, Obama was running for presidency. He was running against Hillary Clinton. Actually, it was 12 years ago. And one of my wives at the time, I got the impression that she was really, really, really attracted to Obama. It's as if she wanted to sleep with Obama. It was Obama this, Obama that, Obama this, even though as a woman, she kept saying Hillary Clinton was going to win the election. I told her Obama will win the election. Anyway, cut the long story short, we know history happened. Obama became president. I noticed a change in this wife of mine. Every time Obama was on TV, she would say, oh, Obama this, Obama is singing, what a man, what a black man. And I just thought, Your Majesty, that this woman looks like I am going to have to fight for my marriage, to save my marriage, because it looks like she wants to leave me for President Obama. Obama this, Obama that. I got really, really angry. A few days later, Your Majesty, she bought me 2 books to read after his presidency, The Audacity of Hope and Dreams of My Father. And I just thought, wow, I am a man, a black man. I felt inadequate because I felt this wife of mine wanted to sleep with Obama. So I decided that she must want. Your Majesty, are you okay?
I'm sorry, I find this hilarious.
So I basically said the only way to save my marriage is if I create my own nation. The only way to save my marriage, if there was a president in the house, so every time I made love to my wife, she will call me Mr. President. That is the only reason why I created this nation. It wasn't a political movement of I wanted to save my marriage. Now, every time she sees me, she calls me Mr. President in my house. And who has won? Nobody knows about Obama. I am still very much president of my nation.
That is a success.
It is
That
a
is
success.
a win. That is a win.
That is the only reason why I created my nation. Now, everything else that has happened because people have heard me talk about my nation on stage.
That is excellent. That was superb.
Thank
That
you.
is a great story. That's a great starting story. Probably
I'm
better.
sorry, I didn't mean to make you laugh so much like that, but that
I'm
is why
sorry
I.
for laughing, but I heard, like, I've seen some of your comedy and that, and I was laughing at that, and just like being in front of you and hearing it straight from you is just even funnier. It's just
Thank
I
you.
don't
So,
know. I'm sorry for laughing, huh? If I'm not supposed to.
I never planned to be a president that makes people laugh. My plan was just to go on stage and give political speeches. And I don't know, at times, people just start laughing. They just start laughing as soon as they see me. But it's okay. I thank Obama for my wife was attracted to Obama, and he created a nation. I created a nation as a result of it.
Excellent. This is excellent. That
Yeah.
I'm
So
glad.
I genuinely think we need to get our people to talk to one another. Let us set up a trade agreement, and let us have this comedy event between both nations. I think this will be fantastic. When do you leave for Canada?
June 1st.
So maybe we could set a date for maybe that might be even be your living event, not as king, but as living Dubai to go to
Yeah,
Canada.
it could be quite
It
an
could be.
idea. I
Yeah.
think um, I think an idea what would work is creating a pre-recorded video, I guess, just so we
Yes.
can. Yeah, that would be perfect. Because a live event to get all of my citizens together, that's a bit difficult. We're across the globe, so if we can kind of get I think pre-recorded short or pre-recorded video or something like that would be excellent.
Yeah. If you come up with what you want to come up with, let's exchange ideas. You have my email
The
address.
artist,
Yeah?
you are the artist. I leave it to you,
Oh
sir.
yeah, yes. I could send. No, I thought maybe you might have some ideas, but yeah, we could do something together. I will send you some ideas later on this week, and we could explore it together, and then we agree a date and time. But look, it has been really, really fantastic talking to you, and I know it was short notice. I had no idea how quickly. I just saw you, and I said, "My people, get in touch with His Majesty. I would like a state visit via Zoom." And we've done it. We have
Yes,
done it.
and it was an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
After this, now I am meeting I don't know how it's going to work out. Don't tell me how this is going to work out. I have met another president, a leader of the micronation called Tiberia, and he speaks Spanish, but
Oh
he does
my.
not speak English. So we are planning to have this Zoom state visit, but we will use chat where he's translating. And I think it is going to be really funny. I just genuinely think
That is going to be quite funny. That would be funny.
that would be
I'm,
funny.
I'm definitely waiting to see that video.
So, look, thank you so much. I know your subjects are waiting for you patiently. You've been drinking. Have you been drinking some wine while talking to
Yes, I have been drinking white wine. Needed to loosen up a little.
No, come on. I hope I didn't put you under pressure. That wasn't
Oh,
my
not at all. Not at all. I was actually very excited. I was trying to calm down the excitement.
plan. But you see, this is my own way of connecting with other micronation leaders. And I hope that people would accept my state visit invitation. So, two things we need to do.
It's a great thing to do. And I read one of one of what you said once. I think it was a tweet or something.
Mhm.
Again, I did research. Yes.
Yeah,
A lot of micronations do hide behind flags.
yeah,
You can't see the leaders, right? So when you can't see who you're connecting with, there's a lack of there's a lack of true connection.
yeah,
It creates a lack of cohesiveness in the community.
yeah,
So once you start adding faces, like in the micronational community, there's a lot of quite popular faces that go around, but the average micronation doesn't show who's the leader. You're a leader. You should be proud of how you look and what you represent and stuff. So this is an excellent initiative on your part, and I should
thank you.
definitely
Thank you. But
take.
the other thing I found out, because I've been in touch with someone who's the emperor of the Empire of Veritas. He says he knows you.
Yes,
One of the
yes.
things he said to me is that some of these micronation leaders are non-adults.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That is
so
true.
that
That
is
is true.
quite possible that they don't want to make that, and that's rightly that's
I completely agree with that.
yeah, and I completely agree with that. So if
There,
I'm
I
making
actually,
if
to
I'm
be
making
fair,
any
I was not an adult when I started the Great Kingdom of Sexistan, right? And I
yeah.
only actually released photos, and created my own profile once I became an adult. So I
And
totally.
I fully understand that. So, and I'm glad that I have been told about that, because when the Republic of Tiberia leader got in touch with me, I asked him, "How old are you?" and said he was 38 and he has two children. That made me feel really comfortable. So,
Yeah.
I will want to connect with adults of micronation leaders. But look, this has been great. Thank you so much for your support, and
Thank
I
you.
shall be in
Thank you.
touch. Uh,
Sorry.
Your Majesty. And I'm sure we will have another state visit soon.
For sure. May I take a picture using
Yes,
a
you
screen?
can. Come on, and let's do that. Let's do that. Take a picture.
Wait, shit, I did it wrong. Perfect.
Perfect. You've got my Twitter handle, so you can tweet me. I will
For
retweet
sure.
it.
And we'll take one last one. One
Okay.
last one. Just neutral kind of.
Okay.
Not period. Excellent. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. You take care and have a wonderful evening. Thank
You as
you.
well.
Bye.
Goodbye.